Hi, welcome back. I am a little uneven right now because I want to take you through a process of showing you 5 really common trends that you may incorporate into your makeup routine and how you can actually take those trends and soften them up a bit. Maybe just for a more wearable daily look. Maybe you feel like a particular method you're doing is not working for your features as you get older. Just wanted to kind of show you these are things that I have adapted throughout the years, and I don't want you to get this video confused with like, oh, I'm making my face look like shit on one side and then doing my makeup really good on the other. I actually did my makeup on one side in a decent fashion. Granted, I didn't spend a ton of time on this, but this is this is a look that I would do on myself. This is just kind of about these really popular trends, how to tone them down, maybe how to switch things up and make them more wearable. So let's go. All right, I know my lips are wilding out right now. I'll fix it in the end, but I want to get through this so I can do a side-by-side comparison here. Let's talk about brows. I am known on occasion to get a little crazy with my brow pencil. And what I found is that I really enjoy these new felt tip brow slim markers that are coming out on the market. Glossier makes some. This one is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. Really great, innovative concept because they are super thin and they mimic actual brow hair strokes. Now, there's not one that works for, one person. There's a lot out there. Ardell makes some, Urban Decay has some, Glossier has some. So you may have to experiment. I know some people that the Ardell one works great for. I personally could never find a shade in that one that worked well for me. But just look into these little skinny hair-like brow markers because they are so natural. They really do mimic actual brow hairs, and ultimately once you get the hang of it, they're pretty easy to use. Okay, cool. Just a nice little subtle difference between this one, which I filled in with a pencil, and this one, which I did with the blade. So if you're known to get, a little dark, a little heavy-handed with a pencil sometimes, this is a good option to look into. Now, let's move on to a good liquid liner, a good winged liner. Not against it, still do it on occasion, but sometimes I really do feel like a jet ink black liquid eyeliner is just a bit too much for me. And so this is something I figured out really worked for my features in particular, not just my features. I do this particular method on other people as well, but several years ago I started just using a nice shadow liner for my winged look. That way I still get the winged effect, but I can customize the color. Number one, you can use any eyeshadow that you have. More commonly, I like to use a nice dark brown, and all you have to have is a good little angled brush. And I basically apply this the same way that I would my liquid liner. I start by creating a very small tail and then connect it to my actual eyelid. What's really great about this method too is shadows are a little bit more you're able to manipulate them more. So if you mess up, you can literally just take your finger and kind of scrape along the side until you get a nice sharp edge. You can also create kind of like map out a very soft base and then fill it in, which is what I'm doing right here. If you've never been the best at liquid eyeliner, but you like that winged shadow look, this is definitely, in my opinion, the way to go. Very easy once you get the hang of it. And it just creates this nice, soft, shadowy, kind of like hazy effect. Another thing that I like to do, let me find a smudger brush here. You can also do this with a smudger brush. It does not have to be an angled brush. And you can create that nice, smudgy, hazy look using a smudger brush as well. Okay, boom, we have nice wing going on. It's a little bit more subtle, not as harsh as the black, not as sharp as a liquid liner as well. So it just allows you to kind of have that nice definition, but in a softer presence. Let's talk about my concealer on this side. So this is something I talk about pretty frequently on my channel, and that's using concealer that's like 2 to 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. I think that trend is starting to die out quite a bit, but just kind of wanted to reiterate here, I'm going to use a concealer that's pretty much half a shade to 1 shade lighter than my skin tone, because we all understand the purpose of using something that is a bit lighter, but to the point to where it really just affects the overall presence and overall look of your makeup in a ghostly fashion. Probably, I mean, honestly, I could probably even go a little darker than this one. But this is probably the closest match that I have right now in my collection. Okay, I feel like this side is still coming off a little bright on camera, but in person, it's pretty much like half a shade lighter than my actual skin tone compared to this side, which is about 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. Last thing is your like contour bronzer. I know that powder bronzer, powder contour is pretty much like the more popular choice out of cream and powder, but if you want just a really nice kind of lit from within contour, kind of like a barely there contour, a really easy way to do that is by using, oh, I thought this was my contour stick. It's my blush stick. A really easy way to do that is by using a foundation stick that's a little bit darker than your actual skin tone. And by a little bit, I mean like probably 4 to 5 shades darker. This one is in the shade tan. It's the L'Oreal Infallible Shape Sticks. These are really good drugstore options. And what I mean by creating a contour that's kind of lit from within, just something that you can either layer underneath your foundation or very lightly on top of your foundation. And I really just feel like with creams in general, you have a lot of control over them. Sometimes powders can they can be a little bit streaky if you haven't set your makeup properly. They can just be unexpected depending on what type of brush you're using. And with just a nice soft cream foundation, like I'm done. That's it. That's like good enough for me compared to this side here. You know, this was like one quick stroke with a bronzer. This was like a couple taps with my cream foundation and I'm done. Last but not least, I want to talk about overlining the lips. Now, I am all for a good overline, but sometimes, like with my daily makeup, I want my lips to look fuller, but in as the most natural way possible. And the way I do that is I find a lip liner that's probably half a shade to 1 shade darker than my natural lip color. So even on this side, this is Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, super natural pink lip liner, but it's not necessarily the tone of my lips. So the one that I find is really close to my natural lip color is the NYX lip liner in beige. And this, of course, will take like some experimenting, but just finding a lip liner that mimics just so closely to your actual lip color, you can overline the hell out of your lips and it's just a lot less noticeable. And I love it. When I have a lip liner like this, I can pretty much wear any lipstick I want, any lip gloss I want, and it's going to come out still looking super natural, but also full. So I'm going to show you the difference in the two. I have very heavily, and I'm talking very heavily for my style, overlined my lips right now, but I just want you to see kind of the difference in this color that's just slightly darker than my lip color and very similar to the shade of my lip color to the pink on this side. The pink on me looks a little bit more blown up. It's very obvious that I've overlined, and then just this nice kind of nudish beige color on my lips. I mean, yeah, some people looking closely will be like, okay, she overlined her lips, big deal, but still looks pretty natural, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got this side right here, And we've got this side right here. They are very similar. Again, the point of this video was not to, you know, downsize exaggerated features, but to maybe show you how you can do those same things in a softer fashion. So again, we've got the nice wing going on here, just a little softer on this side, a little bit more of a nice lip from within contour as opposed to the more stark contour. Brows, barely, I mean, on me, I have pretty dark eyebrows regardless, but barely noticeable here. Yeah, these are just some things I wanted to share and let you know, hey, you can implement this, you cannot implement this. I know I'm looking a little wild to finish up a makeup video here, but I hope you got the point. And yeah, if you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I'm going to go even my face out. I'm going to have product recommendations in the info box as well, and I will see you guys in my next video.